all sorts. I have several degrees, including master's degree and credits toward a doctorate. I have sat with
Hi, hello, hello, hello.
done networking.
Apparently, I've been live for quite a few seconds, and we're about to start. And I'm going to tell you
working
exactly how you can truly make a change and make a difference in your life today,
So what I've
even
done
though you're
is
just
network,
getting
coach,
started
experts,
with the
and
new
put them
year.
together
You may
to work
still
on
feel
your
like,
project.
you're a little
join
bit
us today
behind
for
the
our
eight ball, and you don't
mastermind
feel
network group.
that
I'll see you there.
excitement
Click
and
the link below.
exuberance
Enjoy.
that you felt in the past. And so what I'm talking about today is what to do when you just don't really feel like it. Okay, when you don't feel like you have that gusto, that get up and go, and you feel like quitting, I'm going to give you 3 key tips, tools, and techniques that you can use when you feel like quitting, okay, so as not to quit. And for those of you that are watching on the various platforms, we are just getting started, and I'm waiting for a couple more people to sign on. And so we are going to get started in just a few minutes. I'm going to give you these 3 tips. And we're about to start. Hello and welcome to the Askarleneshow. It's a pleasure to join you again this week. And so Happy New Year. This is our first show of the year. And I want to say to you, have you ever felt like quitting? Have you ever felt like you just didn't have the energy to move forward in that particular vein, in that particular business, in that particular venture or job? Maybe in that marriage. Have you ever felt like you just don't have get up and go, or your get up and go has gone? I'm giving you 3 quick tips today, 3 quick tips, tools, and techniques that you can use to move forward. Number 1, change your identity. Okay? Raise the standard. Raise the standard of who you are. Once you begin believing that you are that person, even though you may not feel like moving or feel like doing it, you'll just do it anyway because you're looking at that person and what would that person do? How would that person handle the situation? And once you raise the standard, you begin to stretch yourself and grow and become the person you truly want to be. So for me, it is media. So the person for me may be an Oprah Winfrey, but for you, it may not be media at all. It may be you want to be a star golfer. And so your standard is, what's that golf guy? Tiger Woods. I mean, there may be a multiplicity of people out there that are doing the very thing that you desire to do. Raise your standard. Look at what they're doing and become that person. Secret number 1, they say if they were to take all of the money from all of the millionaires, the top earners of our time, take all the money away from them and give it to the people who are less lucrative in terms of their money, after a certain period of time, they say all the same people would be wealthy again and all the others who were not wouldn't be wealthy anymore. Okay, it would switch back to the way it was. Why? Because of our standards. Could it be that simple, Arlene? Could it be that serious that it's about our mind and how we think, and the standards that we place on ourselves? Well, yeah, statistics have said that that's pretty much what we think is going to happen. And the reason is standards. You're not going to make more money than your threshold or your mindset. So if you think about it, you've pretty much made about the same amount that you've made in the past. Maybe incrementally more, incrementally less, depending on the job, but pretty much about the same. Okay? So it's all about who we are becoming. What is our standard? What do we believe is our threshold? And so the only way to break out of that mold is to do things that we wouldn't normally do. So when you feel that feeling of quitting, you feel that feeling of tired, you feel that feeling, I've had enough, what do you do? Maybe for you, you go and have some chips. Maybe for you, you go take a run. Maybe for you, you watch some TV. The point is, you're probably doing the same thing that you've always done. And the secret to breaking out of that is to become a new person, to raise the standard. So if you've been a TV watcher and you've been a beer drinker or whatever it is that's your thing that you default to, you have to look at the standard of the person that you are now becoming and say, how do they handle the situation when they feel tired, when they feel weak, when they feel like quitting? And I will guarantee you that it's not to stop. Okay, it's to keep going and becoming and doing that thing. Like today, guys, one of the things that happened to me was I felt lackluster. I didn't feel as energetic as I usually do in terms of doing the show. And so I had to stop and say, this is not my standard. Why don't I feel that energy? And then I thought about it and I realized for me, it was what I ate. Okay, actually, what I drank. I love to have lattes, right? But a latte for me brings down my energy. It doesn't invigorate me. So I have to change the standard. I have to raise the bar. So maybe I can't have my lattes before I do my show. I have to have a green tea or something else. But the point is, I had to look into myself and see what is it that I'm doing. For you, it may be smoking, drinking, all sorts, or it may not be something that's negative to someone else, like drinking a latte. It doesn't seem like a bad thing. But for me, when I investigated my energy level and I realized, shoot, this is the thing that's bothering me, then I realized I had to make an adjustment. So maybe it means I have to go back and start doing other things that are more in line with getting me to where I want to be. So in line with these 3 tips today, I'm asking you to take a challenge, a 90-day challenge for the new year. Am I going to create a new resolution? No, because a resolution doesn't work because we do it for a little while and then we change back. But in terms of this, we're changing our standard. We're changing our identity. We're changing who we believe that we are to be and who we are to become. And that's really the secret of making it happen. So why do I say 90 days? Well, they say it takes 21 days to make a habit, right? But really 66 days. And then to make it even further, I'm saying 90 days. So if you can do this for 90 days and become that person, the person you truly want to be, and pretend that you're that person for 90 days, guess what? It'll be permanent. Permanent. Okay, so before I go on to the next 2 secrets, I also want to remind you in terms of raising the standard of story. They talk about the elephant. Now, many of you have gone to the circus and you've seen the elephant, and the elephant is huge. It's gigantic, ginormous, as I love to say, my fake word, ginormous. And the elephant is tied by a little string, and the circus master is leading the elephant around. Well, the secret is that when the elephant was very small, the elephant tried to break loose, okay? But the elephant couldn't break loose. Why? Because at that point, the elephant was small and weak. And so the elephant began to develop a standard, to develop a mindset as to who he was or she was. So even though the elephant grew and became bigger and was larger in size and weight and stature than the circus master, guess what? The elephant never went back and tried again to overthrow the circus master. Okay? Why? Because in his mind, he's not able to do it. So he just never tried again. So that's why the secret of raising the standard and seeing yourself as at another level and becoming that person is so valuable. As long as you continue to see yourself as you are, you're going to get the same result. And this year, 2023, we want to raise the standard and have a new result, okay? Do something different. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing the same way that you did last year and the year before and the year before and expecting a different result. So, secret number 1, raise the standard. What are we doing? We're looking at ourselves as that in that capacity of that huge successful business owner, or you're looking at yourself as already having authored that book, just like we have in the 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear, Getting Unstuck, and Living Your Best Life, the book that I've written. These secrets are in there. There we go. Thank you to the team for putting that up. These secrets are in there. So one of the secrets is visualization. One of the secrets is clarity, being clear about who we are today and who we want to become. What's another secret within the same concept of identity? Well, you're asking yourself, what would that person do? How would that person handle the situation? And like I said, maybe it's drinking the latte. Stop drinking the latte if that's what's bothering you. It may be something simple. Remember, keep in mind that it's not that we need to learn 90% and we only know 10%. You already know 90%. You're doing 90% of the things right. And you just need that little tweak. Okay, maybe it's the identity. Maybe it's the mindset. Or maybe it's the spontaneity. You need to just begin to get up and take action in the areas that you haven't taken action in the past, which is secret number 3 in the book, 10 Secrets to Overcoming Fear, Getting Unstuck, and Living Your Best Life, which is momentum, moving forward and taking action. So sometimes we don't take action. Why? Well, we know we want the big picture, but we don't know how to get there. And it's not just thinking of what to do as far as the big picture and creating it, because that would cause us to go into our room and get our journal out and spend weeks and months and maybe even years planning and plotting and scheming. No, the idea is spontaneity. Get up and move forward in the one thing that you do know would work. Okay, so maybe it's just calling someone that you know that has the answer, or maybe it's just going to that store where you know they're already doing the same type of thing that you want to do. Perhaps it is going to that event where the person that you want to connect with or the person that you want to become will be in attendance. You've got to step out the box, work outside, expand, move forward, and make things happen that haven't happened in the past, because you want to do a new life. This is a new year, new you, okay? And I love you and I'm excited about your new year. And this is the way to ensure that by the end of this year, you're in a different place than you were last year. All right, moving right along. So we talked about the first secret, which was your identity. And we said sometimes it's spontaneity. Another thing may be habits, okay? Habits and being consistent with your habits, which is secret number 7 of overcoming fear, getting unstuck, and living your best life. All right, so let's say you find yourself, you're getting stressed along the way. You just feel like, oh, I'm dragging, and you just don't really feel like you're at your best self. What is the second secret that you can look to? Well, guys, it's so simple. It's easy to do, but it's also easy not to do. And that is love. Do you love what you're doing? Do you love, like the little boy in the background here? He loves what he's doing. That's why he's so excited. He's exuberant. He's speaking loudly. When you were a kid, you were loud and you were exuberant and you were in love with your toys and you were in love with the people, and you saw that aunt and you're like, hey, and you saw your sister or your brother and you were so excited and alive. But when we became adults and we got older, we toned down and we weren't excited like that. We didn't listen to that little voice inside of us that was so overjoyed and exuberant. We began to calm it down, and we made everything very serious and cerebral. And gone was the love, the joy, and the spontaneity. And so now we approach our work, and we approach it from a perspective of a 60-year-old person who is on their last leg before retirement, as opposed to that 6-year-old who's excited and exuberant and in love with life. Secret number 2 to never feeling stuck and feeling like quitting is to be in love. Hear the excitement, hear the joy. Be in love with what you're doing. And if you're not in love with what you're doing, change it. Guys, it's okay to get up and make a change. Secret number 1 on the journey, and I'm going to ask the team to put the book up there. But remember that secret number 1 was being clear about what it is that you want to do. So if you're clear and you've already looked at your why as to why you want to do this particular thing, then it's so much easier to find the love and to find the joy and to find the push. And like I said, too, the secret is when you feel that feeling, procrastinate and don't follow through on it. So today I got up and maybe I didn't feel like it because I had my latte, and that warm milk makes you feel like you want to just rest and relax. So maybe I didn't feel like it. So I could have said, well, I'm just not going to do it. Or I could choose, because I know that I'm in love with this whole thing of helping people to overcome fear, get unstuck, and live their best lives and be courageous. So then it was easy for me to jump on and start talking with you guys and helping you to move forward, just as it took me quite a great deal to move forward. And for those of you who've never heard my story, my mother passed away several years ago from an incurable disease, and I was really stuck. And what happened was I went to a conference of life coaches, And they helped me to begin moving forward. They helped me to find these tools and tips and techniques, which I placed in a book for you to read, so that you can become giants and achieve your true goals and your true visions, and truly become who it is that you've been called to be and in life, and do what you feel like you've been called to do, even though sometimes you may or may not feel like it. And so I'm just going to look at my here, and we're going to go to the last secret. When we come back, I'm going to give you a little break, and we'll be right back with secret number 3. What to do when you feel like quitting and move forward instead. So for those of you who are watching on social media, what you're going to do now is you can click on YouTube and go to Ask Arlene Show, where you can watch the actual clip that we have, the intro clip, and see how you can sign up and be a part of one of our life coaching programs, or you can sign up and be a part of our millionaire mastermind group so that you can move forward in your business project or endeavor, because it's so important that you have a team that you work with in order to move forward. So I'm going to ask you to click on YouTube and go to Ask Arlene Show and subscribe. Click the subscribe button. And then I'm also going to ask you to go to www.askarleneshow on the web.com and subscribe there, and give me your name, give us your email address, and tell us how we can help you. What is it that you think you need help with in terms of life coaching, or in terms of your particular business? What is it that you feel like you need some help with? We're here to work with you and talk with you and help you to move forward in that particular project. Chances are, whatever it is that you want to do or that you've been desiring to do, you already have the tools. You just need somebody to come alongside you and support you. And help you in the journey. So most of the things that we need to know, we can just Google them. So the challenge is not really the content, but the challenge is, how do you get yourself in the mindset so that you can move forward? How do you get yourself to think the right thoughts to make you achieve the things, the true goals and visions and desires that you have? It's really 90% mindset, and if you can get yourself in the right area, you can move forward. So that's secret number 3 that I said we needed in order for us to not feel like quitting and move forward. And I'm going to ask the team to put it up there. Celebrate the micro wins. I talk about this all the time. But whatever it is that you're doing or you're endeavoring to do, one of the reasons why you feel like quitting is because you're not celebrating your wins. So it feels like you're not winning. And none of us want to do something that we're not winning at, whether it be a marriage, whether it be a business. You're trying to, and I don't like that word trying. So let's substitute out trying and say endeavoring. You're endeavoring to get those clients, and it doesn't seem like you're winning. Or it doesn't seem like you're yielding the results that you want. So then, of course, you don't feel like doing it anymore. Okay? So this is the secret. You need to treat it as if you're at the beginning instead of at the end or the middle or wherever you are in the journey. Remember that feeling, that emotion that you felt? Like we talked about secret number 2 and we said it was the love. Well, remember that feeling and emotion that you had when you were just getting started, how excited you were about the love you had for that person, and you called them every 5 minutes and you were constantly talking to them and you were just jumping out of your skin because the joy was there, right? That was the beginning. And you celebrated this particular relationship, whether business relationship, love relationship, that idea of writing that book, you celebrated, right? So the idea is now you have to look at the situation as if you're at the beginning still, because people can feel your vibe. Okay, guys, they can feel your vibe. So if you're excited and you believe, they'll get excited and they'll believe. And then because they believe, then you're going to believe even more and be even more excited. Okay. And then you'll be able to move forward in that vein and actually win this year, 2023. Okay. So celebrate those micro wins. Don't lose it. Don't lose that momentum. And remember that those micro wins are what go to the macro wins. So we were talking a lot about how to celebrate and feel those wins. So I want to tell you a quick story. So I had a job, and in my job, I had two jobs. And in the first job, I was a social worker, and I was going into people's homes, and I had to prevent the kids from being truant. Okay. And so it wasn't that hard of a job. I had to go into the people's homes and find out what the challenges were. Kind of like coaching, but it was coaching in terms of helping people to go to school. And I had to see what their problems were, what their challenges were for as to why they weren't going to school. You know, check their pantries and check their closets and just make sure that everything was in order. So technically, it wasn't a hard job, but I didn't like it. Okay, they didn't want me there, and I didn't want to be in their homes. So for me, it was really, really hard. Okay, because we weren't on the same page. Now I knew I was helping, but I didn't really want to be there. So that made it hard. And I felt like quitting. I didn't have a lot of energy. And then I had another job, which was much more challenging. I was a political aide. And so I was standing on street corners and trying to convince people to take my flyers and my materials. But guess what? That job for me wasn't as hard because I felt excited about what I was doing. So I want you to also be excited about what it is that you are doing. Okay. So I want you to take that thing, whatever it is, and celebrate the micro wins. Because you see, even though I was out on the street corner and I was, pushing and prodding people to do something that maybe they didn't want to do, I so strongly believed in what I was doing that I pressed the narrative, okay? And so I became excited and I got energy from it. And I didn't feel like quitting because I knew I was helping people to find out about their elected officials and to really change their lives and change their communities and making a difference in the world. And so I had that joy. And even when one person took a paper, I celebrated, okay? Oh, I only came back with a few papers today, as opposed to the other job that may have seemed simpler to other people, but it wasn't really where my love was. It wasn't where my heart was. And so I wasn't as excited. So we're finishing up, guys. We have the last few minutes before the show closes out, and I want you to know that I love you. I believe in you. You can truly achieve your dreams and your goals in this 2023, but you have to take action. One, I need you to contact me so I can come alongside you and support you in that dream or that goal or that vision. Two, you've got to do something different than you've done before. Otherwise, you're going to have the same result. Okay, there's no way around it. And like I said, remember, 3 was momentum, just doing it, taking that action. Okay, whatever it be it contacting me, typing below and telling us what it was that was the one point in this show or in this video that you think was most poignant for you. Okay, was it secret number 1? Was it secret number 2, which is loving what you're doing, finding that true ikigai, that true calling that you have on your life? Because if you find your what and you find your why, you'll never give it up. Okay, you might change the how because you might go this route or that route, but the destination never changes because that true ikigai is something that is your life's goal or your life's vision. Okay, so it's not going to change. It's just in terms of the route of you getting there. That's what changes. And the last one, like I said, was, the last one was the love, loving exactly what it is that you are doing. Because if the love is there, you won't give it up, okay? You'll truly have the energy to keep going, even when the circumstances, and they inevitably will be challenging at times. But even though the circumstances are challenging, you'll still push and you'll still press and you'll still accomplish that goal and that dream and that vision. So today, I want you to take action. All right. And join us for this 90-day challenge. Okay. Thank you so much for joining us on the show today. And I'm going to ask you again, I'm going to ask the team to put the contact information below. Please, team, Askarleneshow.com. There's the Facebook. No, that's not the Facebook. Yes, that's the Facebook. Ask Arlene Show for the website. The Facebook is Arlene Mclaren. And the email is arlene@askarleneshow.com. So go ahead and contact me through there. And also on TikTok. Now we have a TikTok, guys. Ask Arlene Show. And please subscribe. The number one thing I want you to do is go to bit.ly/A for ask, A for Arlene, and S for subscribe. And subscribe to the Ask Arlene Show. Tell me what types of shows you want us to see. Tell me whether or not you enjoyed this, so I know we should make more shows like this. Or tell us what it is that you'd really like to see us talk about. Thank you so much for this time, and I will see you again next week. Same time, same place. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening to us today. I'd like to thank our team, Angel, and I would love to ask you to please go to askarleneshow.com, log on, drop me a line, let me know where you are in the process, and we'd love to help you in terms of life coaching. And also text below if you're watching this on YouTube afterwards and tell us what you think of the show. Tell us what points were of interest to you and also what kinds of topics you'd like to see us do in future. All right? Thank you so much.
See, a couple of people were responding. Hi, Ron. Hi, Mercy, Mary. Oh, before we sign off, I need to say hi to you guys. I do love what I'm doing. Excellent. Excellent. Drop me a line and tell me what it is that you do so that we can begin to support you in that goal, dream, or vision. So I know that Mercy, she does, I believe she's a chef because I've seen her before and she's worked with us before. And I'm not sure what you're doing these days, Mr. Riaz. Share with us what you're doing in the chat so I can acknowledge you and celebrate you in that journey. So once again, please go and subscribe to Ask Arlene Show on YouTube and all the other social media.
I've decided that I'm a good person and that I deserve good things to happen to me. And therefore, I've decided that I'm going